Hey guys, Charles here, and today's video I'm going to be doing our live SEO Q&A with James Gregory. Unfortunately, we basically had some technical difficulties at the start, and there wasn't any sound for the first 20 minutes or so of the episode. So this episode is considerably shorter than we normally would do, and obviously I've edited out the first bit, which is just completely voiceless talking from myself and James, and made sure we are covering every question that people asked. Preset questions, but anyone that actually asked questions in the live chat during the stream, I've print screened all of those on my phone, and next stream I will be next stream, which is next Wednesday at 8:30 PM UK time or 2:30 PM EST. We'll be doing a stream again where we'll be going through all of those questions, as well as a ton of other questions that you guys had for us as well that we couldn't cover in this one. And I promise we won't have any technical problems next time where you can't hear us for this first 20 minutes or so. So without any further ado, let's jump into it. Welcome to episode number 3. The first question comes from Terry Coleman, who asks, do expired domains when used for money sites get sandboxed because they lose their age?
That's an interesting question, Terry. You know, I feel as if that expired domains sorry, I feel as if expired domains, the sandboxing.
Yeah.
I feel as if the repurposing sandbox is going to be apparent on all expired domains purely because Google can clearly see if the site has changed ownership or if it's been dropped for years. And I'm assuming from that question, the domain has been dropped. So it's likely, you know, that there's going to be some kind of repurposing sandbox. To reduce that, I would recommend, you know, building exactly what the niche was on topic from the original domain rather than repurposing it for something else. Yeah.
So, and also, I think it was actually Ashar that said about this as well. If you take an expired domain and you rebuild the old site off of that expired domain to the new one, and then just create new money pages on new URLs, then that can work. But at the same time, if you were doing that, why wouldn't you just get a fresh domain that you can brand yourself anyway, rather than using expired domain?
You know, I kind of feel as if any sandboxing that could occur, Google are just moving the goalposts, so we're playing that cat and mouse game with SEO. For me, I'm just building really high quality sites anyway, and I'm waiting for a good while for that age and that authority to build before I'm linking out to my money sites, or if I'm using it as a money site. You know, before I'm adding affiliate links and things, I'm really building out the sites properly.
I think people do live way too day to day, and they'll check their rank ticket every 3 hours, and just nothing changes.
And you know, for the last couple of years, we've seen on SEMrush, you know, Ahrefs sites are taking like 3 or 4 months before they even pop in.
Yeah, it takes a long time.
And you know, that is a natural growth for a website. Some websites don't really see traction until 6-7 months. And you know, in this day and age of what we know, we can still rank websites in 2-3 months. Yeah. So I wouldn't think of it as a repurposing sandbox. I'd think of it as a way to tell Google that you're actually going to play the game properly and you're going to build a high quality website.
Yeah, 100%.
So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, we'll go to Robert Keane, who had the 3 questions here. How much does age affect rankings?
You know, I think that age tells Google that the website has stuck around for a really long time. So every single link, you know, every single page on the website, and even the who is date, for example, if the website's been around since 1999, well, obviously that's going to have infinite more trust than a website from 2017.
Especially Google have like something built into their algorithm where they try and stop spammers and hackers ranking websites like straight away. So obviously having a look at a domain age, if it has you know, 1-star reviews on this domain, that's probably because the domain is like quite a bit older. But if it's a brand new domain, it's not likely going to be having those like review sites and things. So people can literally use them for nefarious purposes, etc. Rank them in Google, make loads of money off it, and then so Google has precautions in place to actually stop those.
And that is how age. To answer this question, that is literally how age affects the rankings. Yeah. The older you are, and the older your links are, the more Google will trust you and give you an opportunity to rank, given your links are powerful. Yeah. So it's a case of getting the age right, you know, if you're going to get an auction domain, and then getting the links right as well.
Another one from Robert asks, guest posts versus homepage PBN links?
You know, that's an interesting question because I keep hearing it a lot. Should I use guest posts? Should I use PBNs? And the truth is, from my own findings on the, you know, hundreds of websites I link build for, a homepage link from a PBN can be just as powerful as an inner page link from a guest post. And if you build just PBNs, you're going to get to a certain point where you can't get any more, you can't get any higher if if you're not getting links from actual aged websites, from aged pages, inner pages, actual contextual links, if you're getting just homepage links from WordPress websites, brand new domains, that is really unnatural. That's a big footprint to Google. So rather than Robert saying, should I use a guest post link or a homepage link from a PBN, just think of use both.
Yeah.
On the internet, people do have links from clickable homepages. People have links from inner pages, and it's a huge footprint to just do one or the other.
And a tip with that as well, if you want to get homepage links that homepage PBN links that 100% won't damage your site, use Blogspot. Every single Blogspot theme that Google has ever released, because obviously it's their own platform, has been homepage full post length SERP on the homepage.
Oh, wow.
So so and not many people know that as well. So if you link out from a Blogspot theme, every time it's going to be a homepage link. But obviously, because it's Google's own CMS, they don't penalise you like they would if it was a WordPress CMS or if it was like majority to be WordPress or HTML, because they know that it's going to be a homepage link every time. Because it's in that platform. And Google recognise that because it's their own product, and they don't want to hurt people who are using their own product. Another question from the final question from Robert is it still worth it to power up a guest post link?
I think that's an interesting question, because he's saying, should we power up a guest post link with PBNs, with other links? And I think in this day and age, we should just be looking to build really high quality tier 1 links rather than building tier 1 links and then they need to be powered up to even have any bit of juice. What would your take be on that?
I think it very much depends. I think if you are spending $500 on a link, on a tier 1 link, and you're going to power it up with other expensive, $60 to $100 guest posts, perfect. But if that's taking away from your tier 1 link budget, don't do it, because you can spend money on tier 1 links that are going to have a lot more effect than the tier 2 stuff. It's only if you have that budget in place, or if you have used all the link resources that you can use for tier 1, and then you want to go down to the crappier level of links that you could be using but aren't really wanting to use in tier 1, and then build them.
So you could kind of filter the riskier links or the kind of dodgy services via tier 2 for a really high quality link. For me, the only concern would be, why would you waste money on really high quality tier 1s to point it at another high quality link when you can just point it direct at your website?
Exactly. That's and it's all about ROI as well. But if you get the kind of small, cheap, like you said, SEO links, so like $1-2 a month kind of links that are on UK SERPs, on British English SERPs, with English kind of TLDs, then it's going to be quite powerful, and especially you can get niche relevant and stuff as well. And especially now that SEO does the in-text stuff where you can put surrounding text around it.
So what we're saying really is it's only worth powering up your guest post links if you've got a cheap, scalable solution that's powerful, and you're not wasting money on high quality stuff. For example, SEO, niche relevant homepages, and you just send that to it. Or really high quality PBN posts where they've been built out to last long term, and completely stay away from low quality PBN stuff that's going to potentially make that really high quality post toxic.
100%.
So hopefully that should answer Rob's question.
That's all of Rob's questions actually. It goes on to the next person, who has my favourite name in the group ever, which is Xander the Great. Are SEO domains still worth it if their link profiles are completely directory links? And we did kind of go through this.
We really went deep on this question. It was almost as if, you should be looking at what links the domain has, but if they're all from directories, you're going to be getting directories that they're not even contextual links, and they'll syndicate it across that 250 of their owned directories that all link out to spammy websites anyway. And there is a couple high quality directories that people use. I personally don't use too many of them.
Things like Best of the Web.
Best of the Web.
Joanne.
And what's that really big one? The where
DMOS. DMOS closing down now. Actually. They're closing down.
So for example, those links would be good if the overall link profile has natural contextual links. Real links that tell Google that the links that this domain has acquired aren't just going to be removed the next day. And it's not a churn and burn strategy. These are real long-term businesses.
And they're not like PR9 directory links.
Because obviously Google aren't stupid. They've looked at all these directories back in the day and then said, right, low quality, low quality, low quality. This one can go through, this one can go through. Right, they just have bad neighborhoods, and they'll just penalize the whole.
Especially because it is most of them are buying as well. Next question again comes from Xander. Which SEO metric is the best?
Well, I know that we have our differences with this. So my favorite metric would be Majestic Trust Throw in a tie with Ahrefs referring domains. Ahrefs have a huge database, much bigger than Majestic. So I would use that to look at every single possible backlink, so I could gauge the quality of every single link, and then on a big data set level, I could then look at Majestic trust flow alongside, and remove all the websites that have crap links, where those links don't really garner links themselves from high quality websites. Because obviously trust flow is indicator of trust, and it's the closest source of trust. So if you have really low trust flow, all these inner pages that don't get any high trust flow links themselves are going to be essentially quite weak. And my personal experience, they've been a lot weak. Quite a lot weaker. Essentially to the point sometimes they're useless. If every link is that's zero and no.
Exactly. But to an extent as well, I think that a lot of metrics can be manipulated as well, and I think people do manipulate metrics like specifically for financial gain. So like that, so they'll sell people sell expired domains that like TF30 expired domain, but it has 4 or 5 referring domains, and
literally after a couple of years, he loses 2 domains.
And even so, with 4 or 5, 3, 4, 5 referring domains, realistically, if you've got 10 OBL on your PDN,
you've got to be passing that minimal juice across 10 websites.
Exactly.
That those 3 links decide to remove the link because you've repurposed it to link to your Kitty or Viagra or Payday Loans blog. And then all of a sudden you've got TF0 domain with 3 links, and then the 3 links aren't even there anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I think look at link profiles every day over any kind of metric. Metrics are kind of good for if you're just bulk checking things, but then you do need to look at a page by page level, otherwise you're just not going to be able to because you won't. And I've actually seen someone selling a TF47 link before, and it has got 1 or 2 referring domains.
And there's been instances where I've some of the websites that I have in my blogger network are really low trust flow, but on referring domains on Ahrefs they're extremely high, and so they've got some really good high quality, high domain rank links. But obviously Majestic is showing a low trust flow, and these are ranking websites. These are ranking websites a lot more and giving me a lot more gains than really high trust flow links.
That's what I've literally looked at. We've been buying a lot of domains recently for freedom links. And buying probably 100 or so auction domains, and literally I looked the other day and we had a 284 referring domain link domain. Sorry, it was $250, which is pretty good, but it was TF9. It's TF9, but it had links from CBS News, it had links from the Guardian, the Telegraph, the Register, Wikipedia links, all the kind of good stuff that you'd want. And then you have a look at someone else's PBN that they're selling, and it's 9 referring domains, TF30. And obviously, which link do you think is any better? The one that's 10 years old, an auction domain with 250 ID of mostly contextual good links, or the the expired domain that isn't very good. That's what I mean. So kind of you should ignore it to an extent.
Yeah. So in summary, the best metric would be Ahrefs referring domains. To just filter out all the domains that have little to no links. Maybe trust flow of 5 and below to just remove the sheer junk. And then manually looking at what's left, starting from the highest trust flow. And you're going to end up with lots of, a mixture of stuff. You're going to have stuff with really high quality contextual links, stuff with high trust flow and really low quality links. And it's just a case of filtering it all out and just using them as a filter, not using it as, this is the best metric. I'm not going to get this link unless it's trust flow 20. Matt Cutts isn't sitting there. Well,
he might be.
he might be now. He's probably not got much to do. But the guys at Google aren't going to be sitting there and thinking, right, this link is not TrustFlow 20. I'm afraid we're going to have to drop him 5 spots because he didn't get TrustFlow 20. That is actually how some SEO guys think.
I know. And
they've been conditioned so much by really bad vendors and things to just rely on metrics. When really you should be relying on backlinks.
Yeah, there was someone messaging me the other day I need DA30 plus guest post links. And I was like, really? Do you really want DA30 plus guest? It's just... and then you have set prices of what he'll pay for DA30 plus and DA40 plus. And I know sites that are DA20 something and significantly better than some DA80s out there, which have been spammed.
And obviously DA, we all stopped using that 2014, 2015.
I think I've stopped using it. I don't think I ever used it.
They literally update once every millennia.
Literally once every time the moon just blew.
All of a sudden, wow, gained 2 DA points. And it's funny how they have 10% of the internet anyway.
No, I don't even do have that.
I'm pretty sure it's just the biggest websites on the internet.
And even then they don't crawl it properly anyway. Because they don't have I think it's 3 levels deep crawling with mods and stuff. But yeah. So any kind of ones that are 3 levels past. Xander asks, how would you go about building a PBN on an expired domain versus an auction domain? It's actually quite an interesting question.
Yeah, the thing is with me personally, I wouldn't do things any different because I've been doing the same thing since forever, which is, you know, building them out to the high quality standards, really, you know, high quality themes. They look like real websites, and I've been putting like ridiculous amount of content on them to the point where it just gets silly. Like, why the hell do they have like 15,000 word posts on them? And then obviously I'll then wait like 30, 40 days since Diggity has released that post saying that expired dropped domains have this filter. I've been waiting 30 to 40 days.
Have you seen better effect from waiting than previously?
The thing is though, I'm not really building PBNs until month 3 and 4 anyway. So my PBNs sit around getting new posts, getting a few social signals I'll purchase from people like PBN Butler, and then I'm linking out once I finish my outreach, once I finish all my citation links and all my, you know, diversity links, Q&A links, whatever they may be. Once I finish all that, then I'll build the PBN links to my website. And obviously then the PBN's been sitting around for like 3 months anyway, and Google actually thinks we're going to stick around, and we're not an SEO, and it's very similar to what was previously on the website. So I wouldn't do things any different because I've been doing it the way that, you know, people like Matt, people like yourself, and people like everyone who's asking questions are doing it. So
it's significantly easier.
So I wouldn't really do things any different personally, but if he's building them out the traditional way, which is literally register the domain, put 500 words content on, wait a week, link out. Don't do it that way. And guys, stop linking out to like Wikipedia and stuff on the same. You can literally look at the new links Wikipedia gets and just filter from domains that are been registered at a certain time, and you can see they're just PBNs. So
that's just ridiculous.
So, you know, review your PBN processes in a sense.
And make sure you're
and again, tying it back to the original questions about age. This is it. Build them out to last a long time and tell Google you're in for the long haul.
Be patient. That's probably a lot of SEOs just don't have patience nowadays. And like they're literally, like I said earlier, they're checking their rankings three times a day, 4 times a day, and nothing changes.
And the interesting is obviously a lot of SEOs are going to be put off by this advice. They're going to feel stifled on what to do next. But they can head over to a place like BHC PBN Marketplace.
And just find rental.
And find, you know, Matt Diggity. I know you recommend freedom links. You know, I've got my editorial links. Go out there and buy links. Again, look at competitors' links. Look at all the free links that you can get. You know, I laugh that when I used to work at an SEO agency, I could literally get a client on and look at all the relationships that they've built over time. Look at all their contacts in the industry. If they sell a particular product, look at all their distributors and get like 40, 50 really high quality links. That was so easy to get because I could just call the guy up and be like, hey, I was actually saying I work in the marketing department now, and I'd love it if you could just put a link to our website where you've mentioned us on this page. And you can go out there and build all those links. You know,
it's build relationships.
There's lots of creative ways. You know, I've hammered on about infographics the last 2 times. You guys can use infographics.
Like there's literally an unlimited amount of link sources out there.
So we're not saying don't stop building them, but then
but if you don't have the time, like a lot of people waste so much time building out a massive PBN and then just completely neglect their on page. Or they neglect other areas, or they don't build diversity or something because they've spent all of the free time they do have trying to learn SEO and just building a PBN, and it's not just one part of an SEO campaign that's going to rank you and make you money from it.
So if you've got like a 3-month timeline from your website, you can start registering these drop domains every 5 to 10 days, for example, randomly 7 days, 1 a month, you know, if maybe, you know, acquiring them from someone else. You can start doing that from the inception of your website.
And mixing auction domains then.
You can start doing that from the very start, even when you're not even, you know, getting visitors and things. When you're still building out your money site, you can be building out a PBN alongside, you know.
100%.
And then eventually, once your website is getting traction, you've got all these aged PBNs anyway.
So
it's not a case of should I still be building them. It's a case of start building them now so you can use them in the future.
The next question comes from Josephine Anderson. Can you reach out to paid bloggers for a link on an existing article rather than going down the full guest hosting route?
Well, I literally offer a service that literally does all of that. Where we've got close
niche edits,
niche edits, where we've got close to 6K websites, and we have people that can just go in there, find an aged post relevant to what they're trying to rank for and just drop a link in there. And it's easier in the sense that you don't have to go that you don't have to go out there and get really high quality content produced for like $20, $30. You don't have to wait like 2 weeks for the person to get back and say, right, I want you to edit this. I want you, oh, you can't link out to this person. It's a case of, oh, okay, here's the money. Go insert my link on this page, and then they'll go out and do it for you.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah.
So I do recommend that, and that does tie in with the age again, where you're getting links from pages that have age, and people say, does that still work? But if you look at websites like Wikipedia and things, they constantly citing and updating content. It's a good indicator that what you're linking out to is relevant anyway. And again, links are a ranking signal. So if you're constantly building links, Google are going to start looking at why you're linking out, and they're going to be using that as a ranking factor, as opposed to, oh, let's just ignore this because he's not doing this right or whatever.
Yeah, so it's just diversifying it again and everything.
Yeah.
And but niche edits do work genuinely, because I bought links off you and they do work.
But don't just rely on niche edits.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, there's the point where I'll get to like rank number 8, rank number 7. I'll have to build like 200, where I could have just built like 50 PBN posts around what I'm trying to rank for. So they're great in the sense that you can get there fast, and you don't have to worry about all these repurposing sandboxes, because obviously all these websites have been around for years. They've got the age of trust, but then you still have to be doing something active. You still have to show Google that you're a real website and you are contributing on the internet. And it's just like everything, like we've been hammering on. You can't just build one link. So
I think what we can do, because there is a lot of questions in the group chat here, is probably do another stream next week on Wednesday, because we kind of fucked up the first 20 minutes. It's a really hot day today as well.
Well, I'm kind of glad that we were able to hammer out the really good points that we heard on the first 20 minutes that we didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
That was just a warm up.
Yeah, that was just a warm up there. But no, it's I think it's probably best if we. I've taken print screens of every single question that you've asked in the chat here, so that next week I'll just format every single question into there next week. I'll make sure there's a reminder to everyone on this stream that we're doing one next week, and we'll do a long one next week, do 2.5 hours or something, 7 hours, 15 minutes.
Well, I feel as if the 20 minutes weren't really part of it. But I think about an hour and a half is more than enough.
So we can cover. We'll just make sure we can cover everything next time, as well as any questions in that one. But I'm really sorry about the first 20 minutes of what we went through. It's just been a really hot day, and it's been quite a long day. Been up for like 14, 15 hours now.
The SEO life.
Yeah, SEO life. Next time we will do testing 1, 2, 3 before we start the thing. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this broadcast for what it was and what we managed to do. We will, like I said, be doing one next week, exact same time, week today. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Thanks for being on the show as well.
Thanks for having me on.
And
let me answer those questions for everyone.
And we'll see you guys next week. And apologies once again for the technical issues.
See you guys.
Bye.
No.